Asha, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you 10 different life hacks that you can use for Instagram. So these are just a bunch of tips that I think will be really helpful for if you're wanting to improve your Instagram or make it look nicer, take better photos. And if you like this video, I could also do a video where I show you guys how I edit my Instagram photos. Leave me a comment if that's something that you guys would be interested in seeing, and let's get started. So tip number one, which I think is definitely the first thing you kind of need to do, is to get inspired. And you can do this a bunch of different ways. You can go onto other people's Instagrams, you can go on Tumblr, you can go on YouTube, you can just look at Google Images, Pinterest. You can get inspiration from absolutely anywhere. One of my favorite ways to get inspiration is actually through an app, and the app is called Snaps. It's used as an app to organize different things into different shelves. You can go follow me on my account if you'd like. My username is just Beauty by Asha. So yeah, a lot of people use it to organize their different makeup products, their different beauty products, take photos of outfits and organize those into different shelves. So it's a really good organizational app, but it's also really good for inspiration because you can follow other people's accounts, have a look at the kind of photos they're posting, and then organize those into different shelves. So for example, have a look now, but on my Snaps app I have a music shelf, a tech shelf, a food shelf, a room shelf, travel and fashion shelf. And what I put in those different shelves is just different photos relating to those particular themes, stuff that I get really inspired by, stuff that I might like to post on my Instagram. Obviously I wouldn't repost the exact photos that I'm putting on here, but I just like to get inspired by them, and I'm like, that's a cool photo, I'd like to take a photo like that. So I'll link a bunch of information about the Snaps app in the description box down below because I think it's really awesome for both organization and inspiration. So step number two is to decide on a theme, and I think once you have used the Snaps app and you've kind of reposted and shelved a bunch of photos that you like, you can go through the photos, and usually, well, there's definitely like a kind of theme with mine of things that I like, and a lot of them go together. So I found that a lot of the photos I liked were quite faded. There's a lot of fashion photos, a lot of photos of like records. It's really helpful for you to be able to kind of decide on the theme that you want your Instagram to be by the kind of theme of the photos that you like on Snaps, and I really hope that that makes sense. So for my Instagram, I have quite a like faded blue beachy type theme, and the really good thing about having an actual theme, I've said the word theme like a million times, is that when you're in that particular situation, it kind of motivates you and inspires you to take photos. So if you have quite like a dark theme, then when it's nighttime or if you're out and about at night, you might be inspired to take photos. If you have a beachy theme like me, you might take a lot of photos whilst you're at the beach. So tip number three is to actually take selfies with your headphones. So on your headphones, there's like the little volume button that you can actually use to take photos. So if you're taking a selfie and you don't want your arm like out like this, then you can just hold the headphones kind of down and not have to worry about pressing like the camera button and stuff like that. And I find it really helps to get a better looking photo. So tip number four might seem kind of obvious, but it's to post at the best time of day so that the most amount of people can see your photo. If you post a photo at like midday compared to 5 p.m, you'll probably notice a massive difference in the amount of people that see your photo. Usually for me, I post around 4 to 5 p.m. Tip number five, you guys have probably all heard this one, but it is to use different editing apps, and a couple of my favorites I'll link in the description, but I always use Afterlight and ViscoCam. I find they just have the best filters and ways to like brighten your photo, contrast your photo, and using filters is a really good way to make your photos theme together like I was talking about before. So tip number six is super simple, but it's just to sharpen your pictures, and you can do this in a bunch of different apps including ViscoCam. So yeah, you just up the sharpening and it just makes your photo like stand out way more and look way more like bam. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it just looks really good. Tip number seven is to use the grid when you take photos on your iPhone. Yeah, using the grid is really good because it means that you can kind of gauge where the rule of thirds is. So if you guys don't know what the rule of thirds is, it's basically when you take pictures in a particular way so that it's more appealing to the eye. So it's like a grid here, and I think in like the corners of the photo on the line where the eye is usually most drawn to. So yeah, if you just go into your iPhone settings, you'll be able to change your camera so that when you shoot photos you can have the grid option on. Tip number 8 is to use the color blue in your photos. If you do want more likes, then it's actually, I think, proven that photos with blue in it get more likes, which which is great for me because color blue is actually one of my favorite colors. Tip number 9 is lighting. Lighting makes such a difference. The best time day to shoot is just when the sun's going down. It's called golden hour, and that is when you'll get the nicest lighting. And honestly, even if you're shooting on an iPhone, like, your photos will just look 10 times better. I find if I'm shooting in the middle of the day in the sunlight, it's really harsh, and generally I'll like squint and stuff like that, so try and avoid doing that. If you can't shoot at golden hour, then just shooting in the shade will look way more nicer than if you're shooting in direct sunlight, because nobody likes when you look like this in a photo. And tip number 10, the final tip, is to experiment with different angles. So instead of just going out and being like, I'm gonna take a photo of this food, bam, takes a photo, have a look, try and do it from different angles, because it might look better a different way than what you initially thought. Just take a photo on the side, take a photo from directly above. So that is it for my life hacks for Instagram video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you do want to follow me on my Instagram, my username is Asha, and also leave me a comment and let me know if you guys would like to see a video about how I edit my Instagram photos, because I could definitely do that for you guys. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!